Toni, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
So, Toni, it's beer o'clock. Give us a little bit of an insight into ABInBev and your role in the company.
Yeah, so ABInBev is the biggest beer company in the world. You all have drank it probably. Stella, Love, Budweiser, of course. That's another name. In UK, we're known as the Budweiser Group. I joined ABInBev a year ago as a global director for digital consumer products. And my role is to make sure that when we engage with consumers, the actual beer drinkers, we can engage with them for longer on digital platforms. And thus, this helps us make our marketing more effective, of course, but some platforms also are a way for us to get new revenue from new additional businesses. And before that, I was at Amazon, so e-commerce very close to me. I've always been in the product function. 10 years before that, I was running my own startups and working for corporates in sales and marketing. Thank you.
Brilliant. Amazing. So you know this space really well. Give us a bit of an insight into the challenge that you're looking to solve today.
The challenge we gave the startups was around how do you engage with consumers where they would willingly provide consumer data to a company like ABInBev in exchange for a value and do it in online digital space.
Okay, cool. And we've got 6 companies pitching. We're going to give them a 3-minute pitch and then 2 minutes for Q&A, so time for 1 or 2 quick questions from Toni. And then at the end of that, I'll ask Toni to give us her thoughts on each of the companies, and then I'll get you to announce one winner. Cool, cool. So grab a seat, and let's get this show on the road with our first company. Coming to us from Aircards, we're going to start with a look at the world of mixed reality. Here's Lewis.
Hi everyone, my name is Lewis Collins. I'm Chief Commercial Officer here at Aircards, and an introduction to us at Aircards is we are an award-winning web-based mixed reality production company developing web-based augmented reality and virtual reality experiences for some of the world's biggest brands, some of which include Warner Brothers, NHL, Anheuser-Busch, Diageo, Pepsi, and many more. And we've assembled a first-class team of developers and creatives who lead the field in WebXR, and we pride ourselves on being the team that make things happen. And we provide a full end-to-end service from consultation, ideation, design, development, deployment with hosting and analytics. We've actually worked with Anheuser-Busch in the US several times with Michelob Ultra, developing a WebAR portal taking users into Yosemite National Park, Out of Home, a project with Bon Vive, that was deployed in LA. Golden Road, we did a WebAR face filter that was distributed in the LA Times and on murals. And then lastly, we've lately done Estrella Doresco. That was an in-store POS installation. And what I'm proposing to answer your brand challenge today is to develop a single/multiplayer WebAR sports-themed game that connects and engages consumers. Users will be incentivized to score high in an interactive WebAR minigame, attempting to claim the top score on a global leaderboard, with the top 10 players, as an example, receiving an exclusive reward tailored to the drinks brand and sponsorships they have in place. Users will be rewarded for playing the game and then incentivized to share their results online. An example of this could include create your own custom avatar and compete in an AR football game. There's endless possibilities here. Oh. And a case study of this, we've recently launched a WebXR multiplayer, single-player game with nice systems. We had 4,500 employees engage. And as we can see, we've got the results here. We had 11 minutes average session duration inside the mixed reality experience. We had over 251,045 game missions played, with an average of 60 game missions played per user, and 7,745 social media shares online. And in terms of how we analyze these experiences and report on analytics, This is a web AR experience. It's a web page, so we can integrate all of the analytics systems from the likes of GA or Google Analytics to Adobe Experience Manager. But then we also have our own proprietary analytics system, which is 3D spatial analytics to understand user behavior inside these experiences. And that allows us to optimize experiences and deliver the best result possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A quick question from your experience or from the proposal. How do you see the long-term engagement? So I see where the game is related to a particular event like World Cup, but what if we want to keep users coming back and playing for longer?
I would look at potentially creating a series of games that could live in longevity, and then that would allow you to build up a portfolio of assets that you can just redeploy if and when you want to, basically. So maybe like a templatized solution that could be utilized for differing themes and could be used as an ongoing basis or, yeah, whenever you desire. Very flexible.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. Well done, mate. Great to see these solutions coming to life and also generating results. We're now going to have a look at the world of content marketing and how to make that shoppable. So from Dota, here's Naomi.
Hi guys. So 3 minutes is not very long, and I am terrified of that buzzer. So I'm gonna jump straight in. I'll start by saying that Dota are not content creators. The reality is you've got loads of content out there already. You've got your brand.coms, you've got your social channels, you might have some video content, some influencer, of course your product packaging. What Dota does is enriches all of your existing content by making it shoppable, by encouraging consumers to keep coming back and engage with information that they're looking for. How much does it cost? Where can I get it from? That stuff. We call it where to buy, but it is about so much more than delivering a link to an online retailer. For us, it's about joining the dots between consumer engagement across all of those touch points and all of the different routes to purchase. That could be online, in-store, on demand, on trade, off trade. We try and cover the lot. We did build some fully live examples, but given the time limitations, I am just going to talk through a couple of scenarios. So once you're in the Dota platform, we use a Lego brick type approach to build out the perfect shoppable experience for that execution. So we look at the campaign objectives, business priorities, consumer use cases, those kind of things. And then we apply a layer of personalization over the top of that, so that at the moment a consumer engages, we know who they are, where they are, what they're doing, and we can deliver a fully dynamic, customized experience. So let's say you swipe up on an Instagram campaign. The moment you swipe up, we know that it's 6 o'clock on a Friday night. We know you're in London. We know you're on a mobile device. We even know that it's 25 degrees outside. We might present you a pub finder as your first interaction point. Get you to the pub, why not? Somebody else swipes up on that exact same campaign, but this time it's 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Let's give them a store locator. Let's drive them into store to make a purchase. And then over here, I swipe up on that campaign, 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. Show me the on-demand providers. I need my beer now. Give me the on-demand providers, and maybe back that up with the online retailers. So it's about providing, I guess, shopper interactions based on a combination of what we know about the user at the moment that they're engaging, what we know about previous users who've interacted with that activity, and of course your business priorities and so on. In a world of instant gratification, we are delivering that for shoppers. We're giving them the information they want instantly, straight away. And alongside that, we are giving you insights that can genuinely move the needle when it comes to your media performance, when it comes to your customer relationships, your shopper marketing teams, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to finish off by answering what I hope is the burning question, which is, what do I get for my 20 grand? The answer is everything. Pick a brand. For 12 months, we will make literally everything shoppable, every touch point you've got. And we will provide all of the insights out of that so you can personalize and strengthen your customer relationships, your consumer relationships, and leverage those insights to make sure you are maximizing every media dollar you're spending. Thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting concept, especially for us as brands having to aggregate all of our potential points of sale and points of consumption. If you have run any tests or you have a prototype, how does that compare to, let's say, if I have a Tesco app? Do I really am I more engaged as a consumer from your experience?
So I think for me, it's about consumer choice. So there are shoppers that are going to go to the Tesco app on a Sunday night and they're going to do their shopping. But there is a whole world of opportunity for you to engage them in the meantime. So you do the game for the Football World Cup or whatever it is. You run a #ting campaign that's a cashback coupon redemption. You've got those consumers engaged with you right there. Don't hope they remember come Sunday night. Give them that information there and then. And as I say, try and personalize it based on what we know about them, where they are, what the weather is, what device they're using, the time of day, that kind of stuff. And own that data. Don't rely on Tesco to sell your products where it says other customers liked, you might also purchase. Did you know competitors on offer? Own that purchase experience and get the data and the insights off the back of it.
Thank you. I'm not moving anytime soon because my Tesco works at 10 p.m. on Sunday, so. But thank you. Excellent idea. Thanks.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Well done, Naomi. Well done. Stellar pitch there. You bottled those nerves up nicely. We're now going to look at the world of influencer. Obviously, when it comes to engaging or re-engaging consumers in a digital world, influencers play a key role. And the next solution is from Vamp. From Vamp, we have Grant.
Hi, Toni. Hi, everyone. I'm Grant from Vamp. We're a platform that enables brands to run influencer campaigns at scale. But by scale, we mean working with dozens, if not hundreds of creators to produce hundreds, if not thousands of pieces of content. That would give most social media managers, put them into a tailspin, put them into some sort of existential crisis. But our platform makes it really easy. We've got tools for briefing, sourcing, identifying talent, content reviews, and reporting. And the best part is that our marketplace technology removes all of the negotiation from the process, which is the part that tends to hold every single influencer campaign up. So how does that apply to this brief? Well, when we talk about personalization, I think we typically talk about contextual ads quite a lot. And we talk about placement and reach in media. But ultimately, whether it's TikTok's For You page, Instagram's Explore page, or YouTube's recommendation engine, we're spending so much of our time on these social platforms, and their stock in trade is personalization. Their algorithms take into consideration our likes, our passion points, and cultural trending pieces of content to supply us with a constant stream of content to keep you scrolling. So that presents an amazing opportunity for brands to be part of those feeds and reach your existing and new audiences. But when everyone's feed here is about as unique as we all are individually, how do you as a brand kind of personalize potentially hundreds of pieces of content? And how do you do that while telling a consistent brand story, staying true to your brand guidelines, and ultimately staying within, of course, advertising standards and regulations as well? That's exactly what Vamp does. So with Vamp, you can jump in, you can create a brief, put down all of the guidelines for a campaign, all of the things that you want an influencer or a content creator to do, and you can also ask them for their own creative concept that speaks to those campaign narratives. And I think if we use Budweiser, an example, in the lead up to the World Cup, let's say you wanted to get hundreds of pieces of content with everyone sharing their very own unique goal celebration. You could put that brief in, all of those requirements as mentioned, push the brief out to the network, and you can be selecting creators within 2 hours using our platform to surface all of their profile information, all of their audience demographics, and their own creative concepts that they've supplied. For a creative brief like this of around 20K, you could potentially be working with as many as 80 creators producing 130 unique pieces of content. And this, to be honest, is something that we do all of the time, whether it's Schwartz getting recipe ideas, Volkswagen partnering with artists to tease the release of a new vehicle, helping Estee Lauder jump on current beauty trends, or working with Bose to produce a mountain of outdoor content for their Bluetooth speaker. and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. I do have a question. I really like the idea of micro communities or using smaller influencers, but ultimately it's the kind of the proof is in the pudding. So what sort of metrics would brand track?
Well, I think that question always is something that needs to be confirmed up front. I think if we're talking about personalization for a brief like this, if we use the example that I'd give, I would look at how do we get the audiences of the creators to participate in some way? How do we get more user-generated content off the back of the content that they're creating? And then I think you would layer that with all of the other elements that we normally look at, like reach and engagement. But I think the key thing is making sure that you guys also have a plan on the brand side to reuse and repurpose that content as well, because that's also equally as valuable as the reach that they're providing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grant. So when it comes to content, I think the only content that I look at, read, and reread, and then perhaps file in my socks and jocks drawer is like a handwritten note. But how do you do that at scale? Well, a company with a solution to that is Impact, and from Impact, here's James.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James, and I work for Impact. Now, I could stand here and pitch you a solution that we made 1,000 assumptions about, without fully understanding your current business challenges. But in reality, we'd probably get it wrong. So I'm not going to pitch to you now. In fact, I'm not going to pitch at all. Instead, I'm going to tell you about the pain points and challenges we've solved for other businesses in the same area as your brief and how we've driven value. Our clients typically tell us the same pain points, that they're frustrated that CPAs are rising, and even when spending a fortune to acquire a customer, they don't come back. That they struggle to connect and build meaningful relationships with their customers, especially in this fast-moving digital world. And that they're tired of not having enough time and resources internally to deliver truly personal and memorable experiences at scale. So what do we do? In its simplest form, Impact helps to humanize brands through genuinely handwritten notes and gifts triggered across the customer journey. We work with brands like John Lewis, Sweaty Betty, Brewdog, Moet Hennessy, and have delivered millions of memorable customer experiences and generated millions of pounds of incremental revenue, all triggered digitally and delivered physically. As you can see here, we ran a campaign for Sweaty Betty for International Women's Day. Within the cards, they had a beautiful handwritten note and also another note for the customers to pass on to a woman who's empowered them. They saw a huge pouring on social media. It also drove a 15% uplift in sales, with 54% of customers who received the campaign go on to make a purchase within 3 weeks of receiving it. We sent 80,000 Christmas cards, which were a mix of just cards and some with a small gift for John Lewis for one of their Christmas campaigns. Again, there was a huge outpouring on social media for customers who were so happy to receive something that was so personal. It was something that John Lewis had never seen before. It also pushed an increase in 11% in frequency for customer purchases, and it improved their already incredible retention rate by a further 4.5%. We also got some great results back from me and Em yesterday, who have just finished the first month of a campaign to drive first to second purchase. The results they shared were a 74% uplift in sales compared to the control group. So if you're looking for revenue numbers like Sweaty Betty or social engagement like John Lewis, then we'd love to work with you in creating a solution that's tailored to your business challenges. Whether it's pushing more of your higher value items like cake customers and beer hawk spenders, or engaging your customers in fast growth markets, we'd love to sit down and work with you, ask you a whole load of questions to find out how we can help. So my pitch really is as simple as this. Can we get some time to sit down with you, find out exactly what you need so that we can help create a solution that tackles all of your pain points? Thank you.
Thank you, and I love the kind of the link to specific sales results. My question is, as a global company, how do we scale it quickly across the globe with different cultures and different languages? What's your suggestion?
Absolutely. So we've got 1,000 scribes based in both the UK and the US, and at the moment we have capacity, or at the moment we're sending up to 100,000 notes per month but we can actually do 100,000 per month. We've already sent in 75 countries and 75 languages. So we've been working for quite a long time to make sure that we're ready to go to market when it is a scalable proposition. So we're at that stage now where we can certainly do that, and yeah, we've got everything set up to do so.
Thank you, and I hope it's printed. I hope it's not little elves sitting there writing it.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I hope it's printed.
It's not printed, it's all genuinely handwritten.
Oh my goodness, imagine
Yeah,
that.
and everything is quality checked, so every single note that goes out is quality controlled. Photos are sent through, and we've got a few of our scribe tribe who will go through and make sure that every single one is as it should be. There's no spelling or grammatical errors. So yeah, that's
a lot of people writing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
And one final thing, bit of a plug, but if you are interested, we're literally just on the other side here, so please come and chat with us.
Brilliant. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Yeah, James, like all the startups, are actually just around here. So do take the time to go and meet them after this, or jump into a speed dating session, and you can have your own sort of on-stage session, like Toni, but not on stage. That's 4 down. We've got 2 to go. Our next company is looking at how do you make ads two-way and more engaging, more memorable. From Vide, here's Sophie.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Lovely to meet you, Toni. So I want to start by looking at traditional ads. So they're often a predefined message with a predefined creative. Brands have to guess what's resonating with consumers. At Vide, we provide the solution to that challenge by creating privacy-first technology that empowers the consumer to be in control of their own ad experience. This means we provide the brand with a closer connection to your audience that you can keep on receiving. Active attention. So attention is such a buzzword in the industry, but we believe on its own it's passive. It doesn't tell us what's resonating. Active attention is an amped up form of attention that starts when a user actively engages in your brand and ends in a wealth of insight. And we know that they do engage. We see dwell times that are 15 times stronger than the industry benchmark, and interaction rates that are 20 times better than standard display. But I'm not just here to talk to you. I want to show you what this looks like. So you can see here we've built out a Corona example for sustainability. We understand that no 2 users are the same, which is why our formats has the ability to dynamically adapt before the consumer even starts the conversation. Once they interact, the content adapts to ensure that they're getting the most personalized experience. So we know that this is personalized for the consumer, but why is it useful for you as a brand? Well, we can feed back user-initiated insights based on how users are responding, so what they're saying as they're saying it. This means that we can use this insight to adapt the creative, learn from what's going on, but also use that to fuel future media strategies. So that's why we can deliver the most personalized ad experience on the market. And that's exactly what we would do for ABInBev. But we know that sparking long-term connection isn't easy, which is why we have an in-house team of conversational experts who understand the psychology of conversation and can work with your brands to ensure that you have the right conversation starters. So whether it's launching a new product like Corona Tropical, or working to shift sentiment around an existing product like Stella Artois, we have a team that can work with you to your needs. It's time for advertising to adapt. When it comes to building out a creative that will evolve with your audience, we can create campaigns that will drive engagements and interactions. And that's why brands like Diageo, J&J, Nissan continue to work with us and trust in Vide to deliver personalized creatives that consumers will love. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for weaving our ESG goals for Corona specifically. That was a nice touch. I guess my question is the trade-off between personalization and reach.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you go deep, you reach fewer people. So how many people would we be able to reach with such campaigns, and at what cost?
I think it's a really interesting question because The benefit of this personalization is that we can target multiple different audiences because we're essentially asking them, what's important to you? That means we don't have to build out invasive targeting segments ahead of time. We can use that creative, use that insight, and learn from it. So for future, we can dynamically adapt for one audience. So we're always evolving the content, and that means that we can target different audiences in one place.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Sophie. All right, we're on to our last startup, and we're going to look at how do you identify and engage new audiences. From Personalised, here's Jason.
Thanks, Jeremy. Apologies in advance, got a bit of a sore throat, so hopefully you can hear me at the back. So I'm Jason, I'm co-founder of Personalised. We're a big data analytics company, which basically does what it says on the tin. We create more relevant and personal audiences for brands to maximize engagement across social and digital channels. Obviously, we're all here and familiar with the challenge today, and I think we all agree that it's a massive challenge. There's a massive disconnect between what actually consumers want, and we're all here as consumers as well as our day job, and what brands are actually serving up. We realize that brands need to be more authentic, be more relevant, and be more human, especially today as customers turn digital. And Seth, our good friend Seth, has known this for some time. You know, again, away from the day job, we're all consumers at the end of the day, and we're just bored, we're bombarded with retargeted spammy ads. So at Personalised, we realized this very early on. We created unique behavioral data modeling technology that enables us to understand people globally in real time across open social and public data sources. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great those creative ideas are, if you're sending them to the wrong audience, you're not going to get the engagement and the ROI that you deserve. So our vision is to make advertising and marketing more relevant and more personal. And that we do by getting under the skin of the customers and really finding out about their interests and behaviors. How we do that is with our unique technology, humanizing data, building personas of audiences, and bringing that audience data to life. We identify, understand, and target customers across open and social and digital platforms. We start with our unique profiling technology. We're able to go out in real time and profile everyone with a public profile, tell you all about their interests based on that behavioral data modeling technology, what they're liking, what they're posting, what they're engaging with. And then we reassemble that data into contextually relevant audience segments to target across social and digital networks. At the end of the day, the more relevant advertising is, the more engagement and the higher ROI. And in A/B tests with leading brands and agencies, we're on average 30% more effective, 30 to 50% more effective across performance and 2 times more efficient against costs. It's all aggregated and anonymized, so it's fully GDPR compliant. So we build up these personas of people looking at social data, looking at digital data, and we build up a digital DNA of your customer. We're then able to give you a fully rounded view, a human view of that customer, and enable you to target what they like, their passions, what they engage with, trends, content, influencers, and last but not least, targeting. So it's easy for some people to identify their beverage of choice, but for others, there's personalized. And we can help ABInBev create audience segments across a whole raft of beverages, example here being standard beer, premium beer, and craft beer. And no shit, Sherlock, standard beer, they like fast food, but it's the nuances for premium and craft, for example, that actually premium like going to restaurants, and craft actually like cooking from home. It's these nuances and differentiations that actually enable us to get the ROI that we get from our ad targeting. I've gone over, so I better stop now. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you. I have a tricky question for you. So from the data that I see on media efficiency, actually the bigger the audience, the more efficient your dollars spent. So where do you draw the line between, what is too small of an audience to address?
Yeah, it's up to the client, So recently we've been working with Diageo and looking at whiskey drinkers, and they wanted basically entry whiskey drinkers all the way up to whiskey aficionados. So that was a much smaller and much more targeted, and the bottom end was broader. So we can do niche and scale, which is obviously a balance, but it depends on, you know, what you're doing. Obviously, if it's a standard beer, a premium beer, that's going to be bigger target audience than, say, a specialist craft beer that you might be going after.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And give it up for all 6 of our startups. So, Toni, there we go. 6 of the best. Let's talk through them. I'd love to get your thoughts, just very quickly, one by one. What were your thoughts? Let's start with AirCards. We looked at mixed reality. What were your thoughts about AirCards?
Yeah, definitely the space that we're exploring, gaming, you know, is very big and growing. So we do want to do something there. My big question was on continuous engagement, and it still stands.
Okay, cool. And then we moved on to Dota, and we looked at how they make content shoppable. Thoughts on Dota?
Yeah, again, we're going to be talking in a little bit. I think I'm moderating the panel on death of e-commerce. I don't personally believe we are there yet, but you know, it's a big area that we are exploring both with our own brands in DTC and through partnerships. So would love to continue the conversation.
And then the third company was looking at influencer marketing. We had Grant from Vamp. Thoughts on Vamp?
Yeah, I mean, I love the presentation, love the idea, and going micro. Need to understand what's the kind of the cost benefit here, and what is the metric that we can use that impacts our business, which is either sales or consumer data.
Cool, cool. And then we had the handwritten letters from Impact.
Impact, great idea. I do want to see how this pans out as you scale, right? How many people you keep there writing day and night. But a lovely touch.
A lot of people writing letters. And then we had Vide looking at two-way ad experiences.
Love the idea of personalizing ads and engaging consumers. I think the only consumer that's ever engaged is my 10-year-old. He keeps coming and telling me that I need to buy a new Samsung phone. But yeah, definitely kind of you found the pain point there.
Okay, great. And then we finished up with personalized. What were your thoughts on personalized?
Good idea. Again, my question remains where the trade-off between the larger audience that we can cover with less money, but certainly for some of our niche products or kind of more experimental products, something we would consider.
Okay, great. So Toni, of course, you can work with all 6 of these companies, and in some cases, ABInBev probably will, but we're asking you to award one today for this amazingly shiny trophy. Why don't we start with a drum roll and then announce the winner of the brand challenge for this afternoon? And the winner is...
Tough one. And the winner is Shopping Dota, isn't it?
Dota,
yeah.
Dota.
That's
all right,
my
Naomi.
personal favorite.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Very close to our business. Thank you so much. Congratulations. But very happy to talk to the rest of the folks as well.
Get a quick photo.
It's all about the trend.